Florissant and one who doesn't, if that's a separate category.
It is.
It is.
Okay.
And I can explain that. So any business that is already here, that brick and mortar, and they decide to go to a food truck, and their food truck then will be able to stay on their parking lot, but it must be free of oil and debris and kept in good working order. It just can't be used for advertising.
I just wonder if there's some kind of advantage to that, as far as, if we're going to go to Florida, we want to be in Florissant doing business with our food truck, so we want to have an address in Florissant too.
Yeah.
So, that's all. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. I don't see any more lights on. I guess I would just finish up with my comment that I would like to see a handful of different ordinances, not only on food trucks, but also on pop-up businesses and mobile vending situations. I like to myself like to see some research on a variety of them, and I'm with Mr. Showbar.
Yeah, Mr. President, several weeks ago I talked to the city clerk about a pop-up ordinance, and I know she's researching it, so along with you and Jackie.
Yes.
Thank you.
You guys have a lot of stuff coming before you that I'm going to present and talk about for the good of the city of Florissant.
We're ready for it.
I appreciate you doing it.
I would ask comments from the mayor. John?
Actually, I was going to state the same thing about that.
Yeah.
She's got a lot of things that she wants to bring before the council, and we've had some great discussions already. And sincerely, she's been doing a great job with these, and I really appreciate her being proactive in what she's doing. And she's got a lot of things that she does want to bring before this board. So definitely what I'd say, good hire.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm not seeing any additional comments from the council. Going once, going twice. I will make a motion to close the open executive session. That's seconded by Mr. Manganelli. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? And the executive session is closed. We'll be 15 minutes for the council meeting. Thank you. Good evening, and welcome to the Florissant City Council meeting of March 11th, 2024. I would ask that you all stand and join us in the national anthem. Pledge allegiance. Gonna be one of those nights.
So long.
I pledge allegiance. All right, let's play ball. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
All right. Harris. Manganelli. Egan.
Here.
Caputa. Shuldroff. O'Donnell. Pagano. Parson. Siam. Thank you.
Approval of the minutes. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the meeting minutes. Are there any corrections or additions to the meeting minutes and the executive meeting minutes of February the 26th, 2024? Seeing none, Ms. Pagano makes a motion to approve those minutes. That is seconded by Mr. Caputa. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? The meeting minutes are approved. Hearing from citizens. Next item on the agenda is hearing from citizens. This is the time to speak to the council on any issue that's not necessarily on the agenda. You have a period of 3 minutes to do so. If you are here to speak on a public hearing, please wait and speak when that public hearing is called. Because if you are here, yeah, okay. I know. If you want to speak, please do me a favor, fill out a yellow card. They're located on the table next to the door, and hand it to the city attorney, who will pass it down the dais. Mr. Mark Koger. I hope I didn't pronounce your name wrong, sir.
We'll straighten it out.
If you'll straighten it out, I'd appreciate it, sir.
Good evening, members of the City Council and Mayor Lowry. My name is Mark Breedenketter. I'm a resident of Florissant, and thanks for letting me speak tonight. I'm here to generate additional support for a grant proposal submitted to the East-West Gateway Council of Governments for safety improvements to the intersection of North Highway 67 and Patterson Road, up to the bridge over Daniel Boone Creek to the north on Patterson Road. Tomorrow, March 12th, a comment period will open on the East-West Gateway website for citizen comment for the staff to review. It will close on March 28th. The staff will make recommendations to the East-West Gateway for the final board review starting in late May. A link will be provided to the Government Affairs Senior Communications Manager, Andy Quinones, to provide to each of you. Upon receipt of the link, please share with your constituents to make comments regarding this project. It's a good project, solves a lot of safety issues, etc. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ashley Bernon.
Mine is attached to the agenda.
I beg pardon?
My comment is attached to the agenda, to the resolution.
Very good.
Thank you, sir.
Next item on the agenda is communications, and there were none that were received by the time the agenda was posted. Public hearings. Public hearing 2403008.
In accordance with 405.161 of the Florissant Zoning Code, a public hearing will be held by the City Council of Florissant, Missouri, in the Council Chamber, 955 Rue Saint Francois, on Monday, March 11, 2024, at 7 p.m. on the following proposition. To authorize a special use permit to allow for a massage business for the property located at 1020 Rue Saint Francois, Erica Sharp Massage Therapy. Citizens will have an opportunity to be heard. Anyone with special needs should contact the city clerk at least 5 days before said public hearing by calling 839-7630 or email cityclerk@florissantmo.com.
Is the petitioner present? Step forward, ma'am, if you'll state your name for your record, and we'll proceed from there.
Hi, Erica Sharp.
All right, tell us about your project, Ms. Sharp.
Yes, so I am a licensed massage therapist. I've been licensed for the last 10 years. I'm in the suites of 525 St. Francois, so I'm just moving up the street. Yep, I'm a resident of Florissant, grew up in Ferguson, so I'm always in the community.
What hours do you currently operate, ma'am?
In the days from 10 to 4.
And what days of the week?
Monday through Saturday.
And are any of your hours or any of your business practices going to change from what you're already doing?
It'll be mainly during the day.
Okay.
Yes.
Mr. O'Donnell.
Good evening, Ms. Sharp. Thank you. Welcome. It's nice to meet you. I'm Tom.
Hello.
We traded emails, but we
We
didn't get a
did.
chance to get together and meet, so welcome. So I just was curious, so where you are now, does that have just like one area where just you are doing that, or do you have employees, or are there other people?
Correct. I don't have any employees right now. It's just me in a suite
Gotcha.
office space.
Will that enable you to increase or have multiple people?
Yeah, I would love to have another therapist
So the
work
new-
with me, or a stretch therapist.
And the
that
new
work-
space provides that,
and-
is that what I'm seeing?
Correct,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm not seeing any further questions from the council or comments. Before we move to close this public hearing, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak towards it? Seeing none, Mr. O'Donnell makes a motion to close this public hearing. That is seconded by Mr. Harris. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? And the public hearing is closed. Thank you and good luck, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
Public hearing number 24-03009.
In accordance with 405.120 of the Florissant Zoning Code, a public hearing will be held by the City Council of Florissant, Missouri, in the council chambers, 955 Rue Saint Francois, on Monday, March 11, 2024, at 7 p.m. on the following proposition: to authorize a special use permit to allow for an adult daycare for the property located at 695 Graham Road, Greenhaven Adult Day Program, LLC. Citizens will have an opportunity to be heard. Anyone with special needs should contact the city clerk at least 5 days before said public hearing by calling 839-7630 or email cityclerk@florissantmo.com.
Is the petitioner, Ms. Green, present? Yes. Please step forward, ma'am. If you'd be so kind as to state your name for the record.
Good evening. My name is Tiffany Green.
And why don't you tell us about your project, ma'am?
Yes, currently have an adult daycare in Hazelwood, Missouri right now. We accept adults over the age of 18 with physical and learning disabilities. We currently have, our max capacity is 20 participants, and we do have 20 participants. 5 staff. So we are looking, I currently reside in Florissant. We're looking to move to 695 Graham Road. We're really excited about this, so we can get more participants.
We're going to start with Mr. Shildroff, please.
Hi, Ms. Green. How are you?
I'm doing well, and you?
Good. Nice to meet you.
You as well.
This facility is located in my ward. In fact, I live right across the street. And the history of that building is kind of interesting. It's was a restaurant for a long time, and a church, and a beauty shop downstairs for a long time. And it's kind of
Photography studio.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's it's been a lot of things, and I had some questions for you. I know you said your capacity is at 20 at Hazelwood. What will be your capacity here once you get renovated?
50.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself, how long you've been in this business?
Yes, I actually, I've been in this business for over 10 years. We just We were doing it out of our house. We were contracting with a company called Missouri Mentor, and we were caring for adults with disabilities in our home. Well, we were always booked. Everybody wanted to come to my house. So I said, you know what, I need to get a site, get a building for this. And that's what I did 3 years ago. And we opened during the pandemic, which shockingly, we were very successful, even opening during the pandemic.
I was talking to, I'd say your banker before the meeting, and she told me where you're at now is not an ideal location, nothing against the city of Hazelwood.
Right.
But there's some businesses around there, there's some issues going on. This is a pretty quiet spot. I don't think you're going to run into any issues like that you're experiencing right now.
Good.
You know, a call center, a finance thing right next door, the building behind you, and then there's a mortuary, and then you got a really nice church with a good pastor that the mayor and I have done some things with. He'll be a good neighbor, too, across the street. How much construction are you going to have to do inside there? Can you tell me about the shape it's in right now?
You know what? Not too much. I think the only thing we'll have to do some things to the bathrooms and the kitchen. I don't know what they did. The church was doing, but the kitchen is really small. So we may do some things just to open up the kitchen a bit. It's I think a closet or some sort of space on the other side. We may just have to open that up a little bit, but we don't foresee doing too much. There were some recommendations from the Planning and Zoning Committee, outdoor cosmetic type things, trim the trees, and the rail. I think we needed to get a new rail and things like that, but not too much.
Are you going to have handicap access inside to get in the building?
Yes, and they already have that.
Okay.
That's the ramp that we have to repair.
Okay. And do you expect that will take a big part of your time, or is it more construction inside that'll take more of your time?
I actually think it'll take more of our time outdoors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I know I read the P&Z minutes. They talked about the second floor and the lower level. You can't really do anything there until you bring it up to speed.
We don't have any plans for the,
Okay, so nothing 2 years from now, hey, I'm going to mess with the basement now? Or
no.
So you'll use that, I guess, for storage or something?
Yes.
You won't use it at all? Okay. What will your hours be, do you think?
7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Okay. And you're good on the parking spaces, you think?
Yes.
Okay.
Most of the participants get dropped off or they get our transportation.
And I saw you are going to do some work on the parking lot, too.
Yes.
When do you foresee, if everything goes okay, when do you foresee being open?
Hopefully by June or July.
Okay.
We have to, the state also comes through to do a very thorough inspection before we can open that location. So we have to get everything done, have the fire department come out prior to that inspection.
Okay, Ms. Green, that's all I have for right now.
All right, thank you. Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you, ma'am.
Mr. Harris?
Thank you, Mr. President. You kind of alluded to this just a minute ago. You said that the state has to come in. I was going to ask you to talk about licensing and maybe even accreditation. Is there a process for that?
So really, they come in, they schedule an appointment to come in. They go through the building, make sure it's all handicapped accessible. They make sure that they look at everything from top to bottom. Then they also count on the fire department to do their part. They come in and do an inspection as well. Okay. So just thinking of the things that they looked at, I mean, I can't even remember the things they looked at in Hazelwood. It's been 3 years, but I just remember it was a lot on the list.
Mm-hmm. Will you have first aid or like nursing available?
We have 2 nurses on staff, And I'm also CPR first aid trained in CPI, crisis prevention.
Okay. Will you be, will the participants mainly be there, or will they be like going to places in the community?
Good question. So, like, we're going to Applebee's tomorrow, right here on Lindbergh. So, yes, we do get out. We go in the community once a week.
Okay.
Our participants, we really get up and get out. So it's not, we don't stay in playing bingo all day long. We really get out in the community.
Okay. Do you have how many participants will you have, and what is the ratio of staff persons to?
It's right now we currently have 20 participants,
Okay.
and that is the capacity at the location that I'm at. I'm looking to have 50 participants. So they come in, that's one of the things that they do. They measure everything, all the rooms. They measure the rooms that the participants will be able to go, they will have access to. But we're looking to have 50 participants, and the state requires you to have one staff per 8 participants, but right now we have one for every 5.
Okay. And then do you plan on offering any more services out of this new building?
No.
No. Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Mr. Parson.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, Ms. Green.
Good evening.
My counterparts here were very thorough with their questions, so they took a lot of mine. The only one that they didn't ask was about the kitchen. So are you going to be preparing meals for your participants like three times a day, or how often does that happen?
No, we do not prepare. Everyone brings their lunch.
Okay.
We have so many different diets that it worked out better when we opened that we have everyone bring their own lunch.
Okay. So you're just using the kitchen for storage of
Yes.
refrigerators or whatever?
Yes.
And give them a place to eat in the kitchen, or you haven't decided that yet?
We haven't decided that yet.
Okay.
Like currently, we don't even have a stove at the location that I'm currently at. So I don't think we'll have a stove at 695 either.
All right. Understood. That's all the questions that I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Caputo.
Mr. President, yes, welcome.
Thank you.
I have one question, the rest of them that I had have been answered. Excuse me. You said that the state would come in and they measure your room, do they? Now, what is the square footage that you have in your Hazelwood location? So obviously, if you have 50 participants, this place is naturally bigger, correct?
Right.
What is the formula that the state uses to determine your square footage per person?
She told me that in order to have 50 participants, I would need at least 5,000 square feet. And we do have that on the first floor.
The first floor is 5,000 square feet?
Yeah.
That's excluding your office spaces, and that's just for your participants only?
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
That don't include then your office spaces?
Correct.
Okay. All right, that's all I have. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. O'Donnell.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, Ms. Green.
Good evening.
I was just curious if you, and I'm pretty sure this is information or just maybe just curiosity for me, is any therapy that you offer, like physical, OT,
No.
speech, none of that? So
No therapy.
So the individuals would go out from your location if they had appointments and things like that?
Yes.
So is transportation arranged by their individual, or do
By
you?
their family, not from our company.
your location.
We don't provide transportation for their medical appointments.
And you mentioned that you have activities and that you were about going out in the community. Do you also have like self-generated kind of activities during the day?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's too much to even name. Now, I made fun of bingo, but we do play bingo. But we watch movies. We have like movie popcorn day. We play a lot of games, a lot of cognitive games, dealing with cognitive skills and memory games and things like that. We have a basketball, an indoor basketball hoop. We get them up. We play basketball. We also have an air hockey, which they love, believe it or not. But so we have lots of things to do indoors. And then we have a musician comes in on Wednesdays, and she plays the keyboard and sings with them and things like that. We have a retired art teacher that comes in. We paint. So we have little painting gowns that they wear when we paint. So we do all sorts of things.
Well, it sounds like a rewarding endeavor for those that are participating with you.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
Well, thank you for your presentation.
Thank you.
That's all I have, Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Shildroth.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ms. Green, you said you have 20 over in Hazelwood, and you pretty much expect them just to transfer all over, right?
Because they're most of them are in Florissant.
Okay.
Barrington Downs, Lexington Farms, Wedgewood Green. Yeah.
Great. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's all I had, sir.
Thank you. Seeing no further council comments, before we close this public hearing, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak towards it? Good evening, ma'am. If you will state your name for the record.
My name is Annie Eck, and I've met Tiffany not long ago, and I just wanted to welcome her to Florissant, and I'm proud of what you've been able to do. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Annie.
you. Thank you.
Seeing no further comments, Mr. Shildroth makes a motion to close this public hearing. That is seconded by Mr. Siam. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? And the public hearing shall be closed. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you all.
CDBG public hearing.
All right. Public notice is hereby given that a public hearing will be held on Monday, March 11th, 2024 at 7 p.m. at Florissant Council Chamber, 955 Rue St. Francois, concerning the fiscal year 2024 annual action plan for the Florissant Community Development Block Grant Program.
All right, I believe staff is going to come forward and present this. If you'll state your name for the record.
Carol O'Mara, Director of Housing and Community Development.
And the floor is yours.
All righty. I am here tonight to present to you the 2024 Community Development Block Grant Fund budget. The budget and the recommended allocations were presented to the CPC, Citizens Participation Committee, and they approved the continuation of funding the programs that will address the city's priority needs that were established in our 5-year consolidated plan. At the very last page of the plan that was submitted to you with the agenda, you can see what the anticipated funding amounts are. There's not too much that strays off of what you guys are used to seeing. Our anticipated funding for 2024 will be $266,625. We do have some anticipated program income funding, which is not something you typically see. We had a program back in 2009, the Neighborhood Stabilization Program, that is going to be closed out by the state. And so we have some funds from that that had come back into the program that we're allowed to take those and put into our CDBG programs. When that Neighborhood Stabilization Program closes out, we're anticipating about $49,000 to come into the CDBG programs, $48,849 to be exact, which would give us a total allocation for 2024 of $315,474. The breakdown of that, we will continue our home improvement program. $129,800 will go towards that. $60,000 will go to the home improvement mechanical program, which is the replacement of the heating, cooling, and/or water heaters. Mortgage, rent, and utility assistance, we're funding with $16,500. The Project Impact Volunteer Program, $5,000. The Project Impact Accessibility Home Modification Program, $2,000. The ADA Public Facilities, which is the additional handicap curb cuts that will be utilizing most of that program income for will be the $48,849, and then administration is allowed to take up to 20% to help pay for salaries and any other administrative costs that we have towards these programs for $53,325,000. All of that totals the $315,474. I do want to say that the draft of the annual plan is on our website and can be picked up at our community development office if anybody wants a copy of this plan, and it will be for review and open for a 30-day public comment period, which will end at 5 p.m. on Thursday, April 11th. We would like to encourage people to review the plan and submit any comments to our office. Thank you.
I see no council comments or questions. So before we close this public hearing, I would ask if there's anyone in the audience who is present that would like to speak towards it, you may approach the podium now. Seeing none, Mr. Parson makes a motion to close this public hearing. That is seconded by Mr. Shildroff. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? And the public hearing is closed. Thank you very much. Old business, bills for second reading. Bill number 9944. At the request of the petitioner, I will move that bill number 9944 be postponed to the March 25th, 2024 meeting. That is seconded by Ms. Pagano. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? And the motion is carried. Bill number 9957, Councilman O'Donnell makes a motion for second reading. That is seconded by Mr. Parson. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Ordinance to authorize a special use permit to Premier Auto Service and Body, Inc. to allow for automotive service garage for the property located at 1180 North Highway 67 in a B3 Extensive Business District.
Councilman O'Donnell makes a motion for third reading. That is seconded by myself. All in favor? Aye.
Ordinance to authorize a special use permit to Premier Auto Service and Body, Inc. to allow for automotive service garage for the property located at 1180 North Highway 67 and B3 Extensive Business District.
Before the final vote is taken on this bill, is there anyone present in the audience that would like to speak towards it? Seeing none?
All right. Harris? Yes. Manganelli? Yes. Egan?
Yes.
Caputa? Shildroff? Yes. O'Donnell? Yes. Pagano? Yes. Parson? Yes. Siam?
Bill number 9957 passes and becomes ordinance number 8962. Bill number 9958. Councilman O'Donnell makes a motion for second reading. That is seconded by Mr. Manganelli. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Ordinance to authorize a special use permit to Florissant Auto Sales, Inc. to allow for pre-owned car sales for the property located at 1180 North Highway 67 in the B3 Extensive Business District.
Councilman O'Donnell makes a motion for third reading. That is seconded by Mr. Caputa. All in favor? Aye.
Ordinance to authorize a special use permit for Florissant Auto Sales, Inc. to allow for pre-owned car sales for the property located at 1180 North Highway 67 in the B3 Extensive Business District.
Before the final vote is taken on this bill, is there anyone present in the audience that would like to speak towards it? Seeing none, clerk, please poll the council.
All right. Harris? Yes. Manganelli? Yes. Egan?
Yes.
Caputa? Yes. Shildroff? Yes. O'Donnell? Yes. Pagano? Yes. Parson? Yes. Siam? Yes.
Bill number 9958 passes and becomes ordinance number 8963. Bill number 9959. At the request of the petitioner, I will move that this bill number 9959 be postponed to the March 25th, 2024 meeting. That is seconded by Mr. Parsons. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? And the Motion has carried. New business. Board appointments. Mr. Siam.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have two appointments I'd like to make this evening. The first one, I'd like to appoint Kellen Holliday to Property Maintenance Board of Appeals.
That is seconded by Mr. Caputa. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
And second, I'd like to appoint Ephraim Todd of 1465 Thoroughbred to Property Maintenance Board of Appeals.
Seconded by Mr. O'Donnell. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? And the appointment has been made. Mr. Manganelli.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like to appoint Keith Horman to the Property Maintenance Board of Appeals.
That is seconded by Mr. Schildrop. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The appointment shall be made. Your Honor.
Thank you. I wish to appoint the following three individuals to the Arts Commission. Wendy Gordon, 3785 Estates, Ward 9. Kim Jones, 310 St. Patrick in Ward 5. And Taylor Perry from Ward 2, 124 Soda.
That is moved for approval by Mr. Schildrop. That is seconded by Ms. Pagano. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? And all three appointments shall be made.
Thank you. I also wish to appoint Richard Rapp, 1370 Arlington, Ward 8, to the Environmental Quality Control Commission.
Motion by Mr. Parsons, seconded by Mr. Caputa. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? And the appointment shall be made.
Thank you. I also wish to appoint Samuel Ward, 1485 Stallion, from Ward 9, to the Diversity and Inclusion Commission.
Motion made by Mr. Cyan, seconded by Mr. Harris. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? And the appointment will be made.
Thank you. That's all.
Shall be made. Thank you, Mayor. Resolutions. Resolution number 1057.
Resolution of the Florissant City Council supporting the inclusion of communities with radioactive waste exposure into the Federal Radioactive Waste Exposure Compensation Amendment, RECA.
Councilman Caputa makes a motion for a second reading as seconded by Mr. Schildrop. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Resolution of the Florissant City Council supporting the inclusion of communities with radioactive waste exposure into the Federal Radioactive Waste Exposure Compensation Amendment, RECA.
Mr. Schildrop makes a motion for a third reading. That is seconded by Ms. Pagano. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Correction, I need a roll call vote, please.
All right, Harris? Manganelli? Yes. Egan?
Yes.
Caputa? Yes. Schildrop?
Yes.
O'Donnell? Yes. Pagano? Parson? Yes. Siam? And resolution of the Florissant City Council supporting the inclusion of communities with radioactive waste exposure into the Federal Radioactive Waste Exposure Compensation Amendment, RECA.
Before the final vote is taken, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this resolution?
I would, sir.
Step on forward and state your name and your address for the record, please.
Good afternoon, President, Mayor, Council. Thank you so much for having me today. My name is Ashley Bernal. I reside at 523 Chapel Cross Drive in Florissant, Missouri. I recommend the approval and this particular resolution because I think it sets an excellent standard for Florissant, but also the remaining communities within North County that says that our governments, local, state, and federal, will stand with the people to make sure that our communities are protected and the people that live within them are protected from unnecessary risks related to radioactive waste that has been left in our communities since the 1940s. This particular resolution also has a clause in there that would support the Radiation Exposure Compensation Act. And as I've explained to some of you, I believe that that will help take away some of the more scarier aspects of being exposed to radioactive waste by ensuring that people who have illnesses like cancers can afford the treatment necessary to stay safe and preserve their own lives. And this particular resolution helps to communicate that this is a serious problem that Florissant is willing to tackle in a serious way. And the very first thing I'd like to do with this resolution is to make sure that all of our state, local, and federal officials are aware of it and make sure that they are well aware that Florissant is going to stand by their people. And so I do appreciate your time and consideration of this resolution and would hope that you would pass it. And of course, I do stand open for any questions that you may have on the resolution or anything else.
Did you have a question, Jeff, or you have your own comment? Okay. Mr. Caputa.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ashley, welcome, and thank you for all you do. You have the community in your heart, and I know you work hard at this. We appreciate this, and like I said, thank you for what you do.
Thank you, sir.
Also, the Senate just passed, I believe it was Friday, they passed the bill for the RICA Act for the compensation. So with this resolution, the Senate passing it, hopefully the House will get on board. I do know we have some supporters in the House from other states that are working with some of our own representatives. So hopefully the House can get on board with this and they can approve that. And the President said he would sign it if the House passed it. So the ball is rolling, to get some compensation for these people and hopefully to put more leverage on the government to get this cleaned up and to get these people that are affected by this compensated. So thank you, Ashley.
Yes, sir.
That's all I have.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See no further public comment. Clerk, would you please poll the council?
Harris. Manganelli. Egan.
Yes.
Caputa. Shildroth. O'Donnell. Pagano. Parson. Cyan.
Resolution 1057 passes. Bills for first reading. Bill number 9962.
9962. Ordinance authorizes a special use permit for Erica Sharp Massage Therapy to allow for a massage business for the property located at 1020 Rue St. Francois.
Bill number 9963.
Ordinance to authorize a special use permit for Green Haven Adult Day Program, LLC, to allow for an adult daycare for the property located at 695 Graham Road.
Bill number 9964.
Ordinance authorizing an appropriation of $80,000 from the Park Improvement Fund to account number 209-550-24400, a bunch of zeros, professional services, park improvement to complete a parks master plan.
Mr. Shildroth.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules to have Cheryl Thompson come up here and explain this.
Motion on the floor to suspend the rules. That is seconded by Mr. Caputa. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Good evening.
Good evening,
Cheryl, if you'll be so kind to
everyone.
state your name for the record, and we'll let you discuss this.
Cheryl Thompson, Simmons, the Director of Parks and Recreation. We're asking for this because when we're applying for grants, other than the municipal grant, the municipal park grant, we found that when we're applying for these other grants, such as land and water conservation and other resources, we're getting rejected because we don't have a master plan that has a plan to show what we're going to do with our parks going forward. So this would really help us. And then along with even the parks municipal grant, they usually ask you for one, but sometimes we don't have one, but we've still been lucky enough to be approved. Right now, we're currently doing a master plan just for St. Ferdinand, and we're doing that with a planning grant because that's what we plan to do this year, to submit plans for improvements to St. Ferdinand. But this would encompass all of our parks, which I think we really need to take a hard look at where we're going and what we want to do with our parks. And I would love it if you could pass this in 3 readings so we can get this moving.
Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Harris, you have a comment or question?
I do have a question. Will there be additional feedback from the public, opportunities for feedback about the plans?
I believe that we will have some public meetings. I just don't know when yet, and we will advertise them.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Shildroff makes a motion for a second reading. That is seconded by Ms. Pagano. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Ordinance authorizing an appropriation of $80,000 from the Park Improvement Fund to account number 20955024400. Professional services, park improvement to complete a parks master plan.
Mr. Caputa makes a motion for a third reading as seconded by Mr. Manganelli. May I have a roll call vote, please?
Harris? Yes. Manganelli? Yes. Egan?
Yes.
Caputa? Yes. Shildroff?
Yes.
O'Donnell? Pagano? Parson? Siam? Ordinance authorizing an appropriation of $80,000 from the Park Improvement Fund to account number 20955024400. Professional services, park improvement to complete a parks master plan.
Before the final vote is taken on this bill, is there anyone in the audience that would like to make comment? Seeing none, clerk, please poll the council.
Harris? Yes. Manganelli? Yes. Egan?
Yes.
Caputa? Yes. Shildroff? Yes. O'Donnell? Yes. Pagano? Parson? Yes. Siam?
Bill number 8964 passes and becomes ordinance number 8965. I will make a motion to amend the agenda to return to board appointments. That is seconded by Mr. Manganelli. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Your Honor, I believe you have one more appointment.
I do. Thank you so much, and I apologize for this. I wish to reappoint Charles Beam, 610 Prestone, Ward 8, to the Citizens Police Review Board.
Motion made by Mr. Manganelli, seconded by Mr. Parson. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? And the appointment shall be made.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you, sir. Next item on the agenda is going to be council announcements. Ms. Pagano, we'll start with you.
Well, thank you, Councilman Egan, Mayor Lowry, and the whole committee for a beautiful day yesterday for the St. Patrick's Day Parade and Festival. I don't know if anyone in our audience was able to attend, but those that did, what a great day for your family to be out there, and all your hard work did not go unnoticed. It was just a beautiful event, and we can't wait for next year. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Pagano. Mr. Manganelli.
Thank you, Mr. President. I, too, want to echo Ms. Pagano's statements of a fine festival that was put on here in the city of Florissant. It was, like you said, it was an amazing day, and it was just to see people coming from Kirkwood and other places coming to Florissant to enjoy themselves like they did was just spectacular. And with Sunday being St. Patrick's Day, and once that's over, March 19th, St. Joseph's Day. But it's a very important holiday for the Italians, a feast day, and look forward to that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Manganelli. We'll go with Mr. Caputa, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to echo also about the St. Patrick's Day Parade and the festival yesterday. We're probably the only place in the St. Louis area that has a parade and has grounds to go from the parade right to the festival, where you had events for kids, adults, teenagers. I mean, it was made for everybody. So, and it showed yesterday. If anybody out there was there, you can see that on the festival grounds. It was packed. It was a very successful festival. The parade had a lot of participants and people on the streets watching the parade. It was great. Looking down St. Francis Street, coming around that turn, it was unbelievable how many participants and people there were. So, thank you, Joe, and your committee. Worked out great. I know you guys did hard work, and it paid off. So,
Thank you very much. I appreciate those comments.
you.
We'll go with Mr. Shildroff, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. I also, too, would like to thank the committee and all the volunteers who did a great job with the festival and the parade. It was a great event. I would also like to congratulate two restaurants in town, BJ's Bar and Restaurant and Peroni's Restaurant, for being named by the Riverfront Times as the top 5 pizza places in St. Louis.
Oh, wow.
Congratulations to both restaurants. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Shildroff. We'll go to Mr. O'Donnell, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. There is no risk in being redundant. So, I would like to echo as well. What a wonderful, wonderful event, and thank you to that organizing committee for all your hard work and their yearly hard work. That's not a group that starts 6 weeks out or even 6 months out, but they literally work and have fundraisers for 12 months on this. And I think one of the greatest things about the event is that I believe Mr. Manganelli said that this is now his favorite festival, with the Italian festival a close second. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. O'Donnell. I'm blown away by the support that we get on the Irish Festival and Parade, the St. Patrick's Day Festival and Parade. First and foremost, the committee would like to thank the Pink Sisters. We dropped a couple bucks their way, but I think it was enough because they prayed for great weather, and the Pink Sisters got us some great weather for yesterday. The city of Florissant, they're incredible. The mayor sits next to me, and these events don't happen without the mayor's support, and the mayor sometimes just saying we're going to do stuff. And you're my friend, and I enjoy sitting next to you and working with you, but I greatly appreciate the assistance we get from your office and from the city. We'd be remiss if we didn't thank the Parks Department, if we didn't invite and thank the Street Department, if we didn't invite the employees within the city that work on this. We can't leave the Police Department, the Fire Department out of it, and obviously our sponsors for this event. It's heartwarming when you see so many people come to the city just to have fun. And I mean people from infants to the very, very old were there yesterday, and it was a little chilly, but it was a great day. Thank you all very much. I would end with 2 things. Number one, I was in Chicago for 6 weeks back in 2014, and they advertised the best pizza on the planet. I disagree with them. I think we probably got 6 places in town, not just BJ's and Peroni's, that could make the top 10 list in the best pizzas. And finally, hey, we're going to be at the St. Ferdinand Barbecue again next Saturday. We're having a real good tournament so far. Very, very great beneficiary, Miss Erica Bailey. We ask that you come out and see us and buy some barbecue, watch some games. Your Honor, you're up.
Thank you, Mr. President. Certainly, yesterday was a wonderful day in the city of Florissant. I hate to echo that but it truly was. I mean, you see so many people out there, and certainly that everything that Joe and your committee has done to bring that festival to the city of Florissant. I can tell you, my mom told me yesterday, she said, you don't understand, this is something that your dad always wanted to have in the city of Florissant, was the St. Patrick's Day Festival. So, unfortunately, he passed away before we could do that, but it certainly means a lot to our family that you did that. And, of course, this is the City of Festivals, so our next one that we have coming up is probably the biggest one of the year, is the Valley of Flowers Festival, which is going to be on May 3rd through the 5th, and that's our 62nd annual Valley of Flowers Festival. We'll have an estimated 150,000 people come across the St. Louis area to gather for sporting events, car show, children's activities, queen competition, a parade, carnival rides, flea market, craft fair, plant sale, and just so much more. And so that's always a great weekend. So that's May 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And then the only other announcement I have is that the City of Florissant, along with Midwest Recycling Center, will be hosting the Electronics Recycling Collection event on Saturday, April the 6th. That's from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the St. Ferdinand Park. They do say unless the trucks fill up sooner than that, so I suggest get there early. There's certainly on our website everything that is acceptable for that event, and there is some fees that have to go with certain things, so please check our website on that. Other than that, thank you.
Mayor, we calling the Valley of Flowers the granddaddy of all festivals.
I love it. I love it.
I'm not the only one doing that. Thank you. The next meeting of the Florissant City Council will be Monday, March 25th, 2024 at 7 p.m. Mr. Cyan makes a motion to adjourn this meeting as seconded by Mr. Caputa. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? And the council shall stand adjourned. Thank you.